Hello everyone, hi and welcome to the channel of Wall Street Mojo. Friends, today we are going to discuss tutorial on finance versus consulting, which is the right career or which is the right pathway or goal for you, or it should be, because what you love, you should do it. Now, let's see the difference between the finance and consulting. See, as a student or professional, what you would like to do, what you would like to be. Do you want to increase the depth of the knowledge or the breadth of the knowledge? What do you think your inner strength is? These are some of the questions that you go through. See, a professor was giving a talk in a small room conference, and students were, this is a story, listen to it. A professor was giving a talk in a small room conference. Students were listening to him deeply, and when the professor paused and encouraged his students to ask questions, one of the students asked him, "What do you think, sir? What's more important, the depth of the knowledge or the breadth of the knowledge?" The professor paused and gathered his thoughts and said, "If you want to be an expert, go for deepening your knowledge. But if you are okay with becoming a non-expert, I would recommend be generalist and increase the breadth of the knowledge." So the answer the professor gave is subject to arguments and can encourage a lot of debate. Here is what we are talking about, something of that sort. What should you choose? A career which needs a lot of depth of the knowledge, or a profession which needs a lot of knowledge in different subjects to effectively manage the task at hand? Who are you? A finance guy or a management consultant? So here in this particular tutorial, we will do an analysis between the finance guy and a consultant, and will also provide all the details that you need for you to become an informed decision. But the decision has to be made by you. We are picking the fruits and putting into two baskets. You need to choose which basket is yours. A basket with all the cherries or the basket with different fruits. So let's begin. Let's start with a very simple thing, as we'll start with the Excel, and let's see some of the point of difference, because we are going to make some comparisons, and we have two things in the area finance, and we have the next is consulting. So let's look at each and every aspects. The first aspect that I want to talk about is the career option. So let's begin. So the career option is going to be the first one. Now, if we talk about finance, the career options are like investment banking, corporate finance, equity research, private equity, risk management, quantitative analysis, project finance, and technical analysis. But if we talk about consulting, the strategy consulting, management consulting, IT consulting, and other areas. So, what are the hard skills that are required? See, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, you have valuation methods, sensitivity analysis. So this is the point on hard skills that are required by finance professional. You have accounting, corporate finance, fixed income, derivative, and corporate law. But if you talk about consulting, what do you need? Microsoft PowerPoint very heavily, because everywhere you will be going around because you will be just showing your presentations, and based on that you will be pitching. Microsoft Excel will be really less. Analytical skills, process vast data, and business modeling, business strategy, operations, human resource, and supply chain. Let's see what are the soft skills that are required by such professional. So now, ability over here in terms of finance, you need an ability to work for extended time period of 80 to 100 hours plus an hour a week. Excellent communication skills is required, writing skills and negotiation skills. So in terms of consulting, if we talk about ability to understand clients' requirement, communication skills, excellent presentation skills, and taking ownership, ability to work in a team. Let's see which are the top firms that hires the finance professional and the consulting profession. So the top firm for finance are Blackstone, Goldman Sachs and Company, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Credit Suisse, Citibank, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, UBS, JP Morgan Chase and Company. But if you talk about consulting in that particular area, you have McKinsey and Company, Boston Consultancy Group, Bain and Company, Bose and Company, Deloitte Consulting LLP, Monitor Group, PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP, Mercer and LLC, Ernst & Young LLP, and Accenture. So these are all the top firms that are hiring both the scenario. Let's see how the work-life goes in both the cases. If you see, the work life depend on which domain in finance you are working for. Investment banking, it's brutal. Equity research, it's still okay. So buy side analysts have a balanced work life depending on the area. So you may have to work around closer to 10 to 18 hours a day. But if we talk about in case of consulting, in consulting the working hours vary depending on the clients and project. On an average, it is around 12 hours a day. Now let's see the sixth point, that is the travel part. If you see, for finance professional, mostly they are not required to travel much. You can safely assume that 90% of the time they spend in office. But if we talk about consulting, consultants travel 20 to 25% to 75% of the time. So let's see some of the keywords that are involved in this. The keywords are financial modeling in finance, valuations, M&A, NPV, and IRR. In consulting, it is top-level analysis, insights, findings, and facts. Now let's look at the exit opportunities that are involved in this. The exit opportunities that are involved in this are, depending on the chosen area of the interest, there are some of the amazing exit opportunities within the finance sector. For example, investment bankers move into private equity, or research sell side analysts move into buy side analyst profile. And if we talk about consulting area, then in case of consulting, become senior executive in the sector that you are consulting. Now let's see what are the network opportunities, because that plays a very important role in any business or any profession. So in finance, the network opportunity mostly works within the finance industry. Alumni network is strong but not where it is found in the consulting. But if we talk about consulting, then consultants works for diverse industry. They get immense opportunities of networking within diverse group of businesses, academics, governments, and also countries. So they also have a very strong alumni network which helps them to connect across the levels. Now let's see what are the popular certifications that are what you can go for in terms of certifications. So in certifications, you have over here as CMC. Over here you have tons of certifications like CFA, FRM, PRM, CFP, CIMA, CMA, ACCS, CPA, and so on and so forth. What are the job security? Because everyone is always concerned about their job security. This is a very important point. So the chances of spending 15 to 20 years in finance field is bit lower, especially investment banking, and the chance of having a 15 to 20 years of career in consulting looks a lot higher. Now let's see which one to pick. We have to pick one, finance versus consulting. So let's talk a bit more about generalist and specialist, so that you can have an idea what characteristics are more for your kind. Specialist. If you are a specialist, you tend to think about one thing. It comes naturally to you. You are able to concentrate and don't feel bored easily about one thing. And before going into depth, you don't leave any subject. So you are someone who is going, who go to guy for specific things. You love your one thing, and you wholeheartedly want to pursue it. Now the generalist. So you are someone who is okay with knowing a little about everything. So you get bored with things easily. You are someone who picks up one book, reads it through, and next you pick up another book of different subject. You have a hard time concentrating on one thing most of the time, and you feel that knowing enough is enough. So now the description we have given above may not match who you are completely, but while reading you may feel that this is me. No, this isn't me. So pick those and read the whole article, or this particular, try to listen this tutorial in a very careful and a vigilant manner, so that you will keep all the phrases in mind. And we'll be talking about finance and consulting too. So finance is for specialists, for professional students who love to play with numbers, think logically, base their decision on reasoning, and mostly get busy in increasing their knowledge in finance. On the other hand, consultant has to do much things. They cannot only get around with the finance knowledge. They need to understand business administration, marketing, analysis, presentation, customer service, and many more. So they are jack of all trades and mostly masters none of them. Let's look at how it looks like to have a career in finance and to have a career in consulting. So I'll start with the first one as a career in finance. Let's see how things work in career in finance. Now this section would be divided into two parts. First, we will talk about the possible certifications degree you take up to create an amazing career in finance. Then we will talk about how to get there. First, investment banking, corporate finance, equity research, you have risk management, quantitative analysis, project finance, and technical analysis. How to get into finance role? A very important question. So the first step is to decide what you want to specialize in. Is it something that you want to do at least for next 5 to 10 years? If yes, then choose whatever speaks to you. But if you feel that specialization are not for you, you can read on. In the next section, we will talk about careers in management and consulting. And to thrive in management consulting career, all you need to have is a mindset of generalist. So if you think being a specialist speaks to you, choose any of the above certification and get going. See, getting there is easy. The hard part is to choose something that you can continue doing for next 5 to 10 years. So to understand whether you would like to specialize or not, you can simply look at the lifestyle of the finance profession. Pick any profession and look at the lifestyle. Now ask yourself, am I ready to adapt to the lifestyle this career offers me? Am I excited about the lifestyle? If the answer is yes, pick that specialization and you would be happier. Let's see what things work out in careers in management. See, while finance careers are mainly built on the foundation of the certification management consultancy needs a different route. Here is what you should do to thrive in management consulting. First of all, let's talk about the skills that you require to do a great in management consulting. So, skills required in management consulting. First, effective communication and interpersonal skill. To be a great management consultant, you need to know how to express yourself so that the clients can understand where you are coming from. A clarity is the key. So while communication can be developed, interpersonal skills need to be owned only by dealing with more people. You cannot just get great at interpersonal skills until you become well versed in your social life. Second, understand trends. Your job is to see the past and be in the present and predict the future in such a way that the clients can be positive about the business. And while getting there, you need to understand trends of the business and how to make sense in your prediction. Third, being able to analyze vast amount of data. So how would you know where the company is coming from? You need historical data to answer this question. Moreover, you need to know how to analyze the data so that you can change their future. Even if analysis is not always considered as a specific skill, but you need to know how to analyze the data in such a way that you can communicate the trend via statistical model, charts, or presentation. Next, future orientation. See, as a management consultant, your job is to improve their future. So if you are not focused on offering them better results in future, you would not be hired again. Why would you get hired if you can't sell them the possibility of the future or the most cherished goal? Your job is to put the results on the table even before you start working with them. Be sound, know a lot, show past results to your present clients, and they will trust you. So let's see how you can get there. How to get into consulting role. You have heard the expression, when I do, I learn. Yes, you need to do consulting to be a good consulting. How would you start? You can start by joining big consultancy firm. Okay, you can join a big consultancy firm like McKinsey and Company, Boston Consultancy Group like BCG, that is known as Bain and Company, Accenture, and so on and so forth, and can learn the art of trade. Joining a big company is beneficial for you for the following reasons. The first one is that you will be a small fish in a big pond. So there is no limits to your learning. You can learn everything about everything, and then you can apply the same in your own domain of work. Second, you will get much better salary compared to your small firm. Third, you will add value to your personal brand value, because later when recruiter will look at your profile, you will definitely have an edge over the others. Fourth, you will also learn about how these big firms do businesses with the clients and can learn a ton from the experiences. Now the small consultancy firms. See, yes, you can join a small firm and be a king of your kingdom. Of course, you will be in a small pond. Thus, your chances of the growth would be more. How? The question is how? You need to take more responsibility and would run the firm mostly as an entrepreneur. Yes, the compensation may be less, but the experience in the small firm is great if you want to start something on your own. Now, start your own consultancy firm. The next thing, see, starting your own consultancy firm is lucrative. Of course, it's risky and not easy. You may lose sleep nights after the nights, but it's worthy of every sleepless nights. Owning your own firm will give you the autonomy of choosing your clients, expanding at your own pace, choosing your own schedules, and making your own profits. Yes, as much as you want. And no, it's not easy to start a consultancy firm on your own. But if you have a few years of experience in big firms and small firms, that will be enough. So, let's conclude this. In the final analysis, the only difference between the finance and consulting, that may bother you in the compensation. You would earn a little less while starting your management consultancy career that than your finance counterpart. But if you stick to your laurel, you will do well and eventually you may earn much more than the finance professional. A word of caution over here. As a management consulting professional, you need to ensure your own growth as there is no or limited scope for any professional certification. However, you can do finance certification and choose a career in management consulting. Many professionals do that. Think about all the options and decide what makes you tick at the end of the day. Good luck everyone. Thank you.